Hello, good morning, students. Uh, Today we will be discussing the new topic that is from the chapter number 7. We have almost completed 2 chapters, and the chapters of this one will be the conservations of plants and animals. Okay, from the chapter number 7, and so here is what are we going to discuss about this chapter number 7. So I will just sort of highlight about it. We'll be discussing about the overviews, introductions. Then we'll discuss about the chapters that is deforestations and its causes. Then we will discuss about the consequences of deforestation in this video lectures. Then in next video lectures we will discuss about the conservations of forests and wildlife, biodiversity. Again, we'll discuss about the biosphere reserve. Again, we will discuss about endemic and endangered species. Then we will discuss about the project tigers. Okay. Then last topic, that is red data books. Okay. So these are some topics that we will be covering in this video, in these chapters. So here we go. So this is what we call a biodiversity. This is what we call the biospheres, and this is what we call the animals. Okay. So you see, introductions. Okay, in the early classes we have studied how human uses the natural resources, right? How we have learned about how humans uses the natural resources like coals and petroleums. We talk about, okay, in the coals and petroleum, what are the important materials that we use from the nature and why we use those things. Okay, so we know that we are using the natural resources just for our survival solely. Okay, but since the human populations are increasing day by day at a high rate, okay, the natural resources are declining day by day. Okay, that means the demands are high, but the quantities are less in the nature. So our main aim is to conserve the plants and animals. Okay, our main aim is to conserve the plants and animals. If we don't have the am an objective to conserve the plants and animals, or we don't studies about this in our life, and we just lavishly we use the nature, our resources, natural resources. The time will come where everything will be cut off, and we will be lacking from most important things, that is natural resources, where we are getting the different types of materials, where we are getting different types of resources. Okay, so since in the recent advanced technologies, in the science and technologies, people have a higher standards of living. Okay, so there is a greater demands of a natural resources, as I already told you. Since we are in the advanced technology, we are living in the advanced worlds. Okay, but the demands of the natural resources are becoming greater and greater. Okay, so you see, natural resources are those substances found in natures on earth that can be used by humankind, are called natural resources. Okay, what are these? Air, water, land, soil, mineral, flora, that is plant and fauna, that is animals, and sun energies are all natural resources, and all these are needed, all these are demanded by the humans. Okay, airs are demanded by human, waters are demanded by human, land or soil is demanded by human, mineral is demanded by human, flora, this is why I marked this one so we bullet, because we are talking about the plants and animals only. So flora, and the scientific name is what we call as a flora, and fauna, that is what we call as the animals, and sun energies are all natural resources. Okay, so we are going to conserve them. What is the conservations? Okay, what do I mean by conservation? The conservation doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that we have to stop using, or it doesn't mean that we have to stop the uses of the natural resources completely. It only means that we have to use the resources very wisely and judiciously. Okay, we have to use the natural resources very wisely and judiciously is what we call as a natural resources. Okay, that is what we call as a natural resources. So So, you see, what is the aims of conservation? The aims of conservation are to preserve the qualities of environment, that is, maintain a pollution-free environment. Okay, we have to preserve the qualities. We have to preserve the quality. We have to preserve the quality means we have to save. We have to save it. We have to keep the qualities of environment very neat and clean. Okay, that means by maintaining a pollution-free environment. Okay, second thing is what we have to ensure the continuous use of useful plant and animal material for generation to come. You see, you might have seen in and around in a recent time, like the temperatures of the mountains are increasing day by day, and you might have seen that at the side of this mountain town, okay, day by day the house or buildings, they are developing a lot. That means we are just going for the deforestation. Means we are cutting out, we are using the lands and soils. Okay, we are using the land and soils unnecessarily, and we are just exploring day by day. Okay, so since the populations are increasing day by day, okay, that means the forests are declining day by day, because we are there to build up the buildings, we are there to build up the house. Okay, so that is the most important things. Okay, that is the most important that we have to be. So conservations, okay, conservations conservation is what we have to use the materials very wisely and judiciously, so that in the generation to come, in your next generations or next generation, for upcoming the new generations, that the resources should be available. Okay, so we have to use the materials very wisely. So these are the two aims: to preserve the qualities of environment, and second is what, to ensure that continuous yields of useful plants and animal and material for generation to come. There should be theirs. Okay, this therefore for upcoming generations, those resources should be available. Okay, so our first topic is what our first topic is regarding about the deforestation in causes. Okay, so what do you mean by the deforestation? Deforestation means simply we say cutting downs of tree. Okay, simply we say cutting downs of tree, and using the clear land for the other purpose. Deforestation means what, you are just cutting down the tree. That is what we call deforestation. Okay, so what is a deforestation means what, it's cutting downs of tree or clearings of forests. Okay, you see, the clearings of forests and using the land for other purposes is called deforestations. Okay, so what is the purpose, why we are doing this, all those deforestation? What is the main aims of deforestations? The main aim of deforestation is what? Procuring land for cultivation. We are doing the cultivations. Okay, we are using the land in order to do, like, if you talk about the gym cultivations. Okay, if you talk about the gym cultivation, and day we are trying to cut down the forest from one place to another. Again, next year we are shifting to another process, and next year we are shifting so in order to do for the cultivations, we are cutting down all the trees, the clearings. Okay, that is the most important point. Again, second thing is what, building houses and factories. We are building in order to, like, as we are developing day by day, as the countries as the worlds are developing day by day, and the populations are increasing day by day, right? More families in a one families, they may be having 3-4 brothers. That means those brothers cannot live together in a simple in the same roof, so they have to shift to they have to go to their they have to procure another lands and build their own house out there. So in order to build the houses, okay, like one families, if they have four boys, that means they will go to the different places and they will make a house there. That means again they have to, in order to make a new house, they have to cut down the tree. Okay, now factories are increasing, lot of different types of factories, milk factories, pepper factories, textile factories. Okay, different types of factories are there, so they have to their uh, day by day different types of factories are increasing now. Even in our places, like we might be demanding, like after 3-4 years they might be seeing a lot of factories will be arising. Okay, so the more factories we are increasing, that means the more deforestation will be there. That means in order to build all those building, in order to build all those forests, we need to cut down the in order to fill all those factories, we need to cut down the forest. Okay, so that is the most important, like that is the most important point. Second is what, using the wood as a fuels or making the furnitures. Like if you want to use, like some of them is, you even in a Mon town, and even in our Mon districts, if we talk about in Mon district, most of us, every family, even in my house, we use the fuel, we use the wood as the firewoods, right? We use the firewoods as a fuels. Okay, but means we are using the wood as a fuels for cooking. Okay, for cooking, so whatever the purpose is here, we use this as a fuels, wood as a fuels. That means in order to get that wood, we need to cut down the tree, right? That is also another type of deforestation. Or making the furniture, you might have in your own home, you might have a lot of furnitures out there, table, chairs, like, so mostly all of these are made by the woods, right? So in order to make all those furnitures, we use these woods. Okay, so deforestation, what's again is a procuring the lands for cultivation. So next is what, building houses and factories. Next is what, using wood as a fuels or making furniture. So what is the causes? Okay, what is the causes for this natural this, you see, the natural causes for deforestation is what, the first thing that we can see is the forest fire. Second is what we can see is the drought. You see, this is the pictures. You see, you can see the pictures out here. Okay, you can see the pictures out here. So this is the pictures out there where you can see, this is the deforestation. Okay, here you see there is a deforestation. So what is the disadvantages of deforestation is what you see. Chances is here, natural causes is what, due to the drought. Okay, due to natural causes is what, due to the drought, or due to the forest fire. Due to the forest fire, there also causes the deforestation. And due to the drought, if water is not available, that means plant will not grow. That means there is also another, this land become unused. Okay, so that means that is also another causes of deforestation. Okay, so these are some important points and causes of deforestation. Why deforestation is causes. Okay, the purpose of deforestation by the human is what, preparing the land for cultivation, building as a house and factories, using wood as a fuels and making furnitures. Again, next is what, natural causes are due to the forest fire and droughts. Okay, so our next topic in this video that we will be discussing, the last topic that we are going to discuss is about the so consequence of the forest. Okay, what deforestation, what is the problem? Okay, if the deforestation is there, what happens if the deforestation, what is it? Yeah, now you see the most important that example that we discuss is what, and day by day the temperature is increasing. Last year it was not much hot, this year is becoming hotter. Next year again it will become more hotter. Next year it become more hotter. Now another thing is that you see most of it, like if your house is surrounded by the trees or a plant, that means your house didn't feel any hotness, right? Some cools are there, some wind you can get it. But since forests have been cut down, that means no wind will be there, no blowings of wind will be there. That means no set will be there. That means temperature will be increasing. Okay, temperature will be increasing. You see, increasing the first thing is what, increasing the temperatures and a pollution level on the earth. Second thing is that increasing the levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, leading to global warming. Okay, so if the forest is not there, if the plant is not there, if the plant is the only organisms, only living organisms that uses the carbon dioxide. And if the levels of carbon dioxide is increasing, that means the carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gases. Okay, carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gases, and that carbon dioxide, okay, if the level of the carbon dioxide increase day by day, that means chances is there that there will be a global warming. Okay, so this is that you say day by day, if the carbon dioxide is increasing day by day, means this pollution level increases, levels of carbon dioxide and the atmosphere will okay, as a tree cut down. So which means the less carbon dioxide be used up by the photosynthesis, and this would lead to the global warming. Okay, that, and we will discuss the global warming detailing next chapter, that is chapter number 18. Okay, in the chapter number 18 we will discuss more details about the global warming. Now, lowering of groundwater level, if the plan is not there, if the plan is not available, chances is there that what is that, pre-locations should not be, means waters will not be penetrate deep into the ground. If water is not there inside the ground, that means the water levels of ground under the ground will be reduced. Okay, second is a disturbing, disrupt the balance in nature. Okay, means it will be a disturbance for the living plants of mostly plants and animal. You see, you might have seen that many plants, animal, many forests. Okay, if the forest is not there, that means what, their their ecosystem will be disturbed. Many plants and animal will become home shelterless, right? They will not get any shelter to live in. Okay, so this is another impact again. Okay, now decrease in rainfall leading to the drought. That means what, if there is no forest, that means no rainfall will be there. That means it will the scarcity of water will be high, right? Second is what, soil erosion and decrease in soil fertility leading to this desertification. Means if the soil, if forest is not there, that means chances is there that by, if the rain comes, that means they will sweep away all the waters. If the wind comes, they will sweep away all the soil, right? Similarly, if the rain comes, that means what, if the rain comes, that means they will sweep away all the winds, right? Similarly, again, if there is a windy, that means again they will sweep away all the top layers of the soil. That means they will decrease the soil fertility, and if the soil fertility decreases, that means it will totally become like a desert, right? That is what we call as a desertification. Okay, so that means the fertile land will be converted into desert. That is what we call as a desertification. Okay, so what is the desertification? Desertification is a process where the fertile land get converted into deserts. Okay, so next is what, decrease in the water holding capacity of soil leading to floods. If the water holding capacity, if your soil does not absorb the water, if the soil does not absorb the water and does not hold the water, that means chances is there that our land will be totally with full of flood if heavy rain come down, right? If you talk about what is absorbing water holding capacity, now if you see, if you pour the water on the cemented, or if you pour the water on the kitchen floor or whatever it is, that means the water, you try to pour the waters out there on the cemented, that means the water will not get hold, they will not penetrate deep into the soil, and it will get stuck on the, it will remain on the floor. That means the water is not holding by the soil. Okay, but if you throw the water outside the compounds, or where it is not, it is not a concrete, but it is a open floors. Okay, that means it's a totally a muddy floor. That means chances is there that there will be like the most of the water will be get absorbed by the soil. So if water get absorbed by the soil, that means flood is not there is no chances that a flood will be leads. Okay, then next is what, the numbers of useful product obtained from the trees are also lost when the trees are cut down. So whenever we continue to cut down, then this numbers of useful products also will be lost. Okay, so these are some important points that you have to keep in mind. Okay, the first thing that we have discussed is what, introduction, what is natural resources. Second is what is under natural resources, what are the natural resources. Second, what is conservation. Conservation is what, GDC's use and why is in GDC's use of the natural resources, why we have the studies about it, what are the aims of conservation of resources, to preserve the qualities of environment, okay, so that to maintain a free pollutions. Okay, second is what, to ensure the continuous use of useful plants and animal and material for generation to come. Okay, next is what is deforestation, how deforestation is a cause. Okay, next we have discussed about the consequence of deforestation. Okay, in the next video we will discuss about the conservation of forest and wildlife biodiversity, and then we will discuss about the biospheres. Again we will do a biosphere reserve. Again we will discuss about the endangered species, project tigers, and red data books. Okay, so these are all about the topic, so please go through the videos and try to watch up all the videos. Okay, so my first questions. Okay, so the first question that the assignment questions will be given in the videos on the screens. Okay, your assignment question will be shown in the screens. Okay, so anyway, thank you, stay safe.